there's a whole god messing with people thing. Kind of like, man, is it okay to pick up girls in the dungeons? They're just kind of like messing with each other and using humans to do it, but it's like, okay, whatever. Welcome back, everybody, to the Is It Isekai podcast anime review. Spoiler warnings. This is one of the co-hosts, Jim Jam here, and I got another show for you. As you can see behind me, we are reviewing and spoiling May I Ask for One Final Thing, which is amazing. I'm not even going to try the Japanese version of that title, but it is great. And it just plays so well into the whole entire overarching theme of the whole entire anime, May I Ask for One Final Thing. I thought that was a weird title. I don't know about y'all, but when they actually brought it into the actual plot of the whole entire story, and I mean the whole first episode starts out with that one question. It's like, oh, awesome. This is going to be amazing. The look on the main character's face as she's doing her actions, which I'll get into, and towards the end of the episode, I'll tell you what the rating I think it is, and are we looking forward to a second season? I'll let you know at the end. Okay, so let's do a quick overview. Scarlet El Vandimion, said it, nailed it. As you can see behind me, is wearing all red, and she has gloves, which is great. And her name is Scarlet, but she actually doesn't have scarlet hair, which is interesting because most anime, if your name is Scarlet, then you have red hair. But instead, she wears red stuff, which is cool. But she has silver hair, which is cool as well. And she is actually betrothed to second Prince Kyle, which is not the best for her because she was just tortured by him the whole entire time. And as we can see, very much like the reincarnated Baroness goes and marries the rival king or something like that anime, where it's just a little bit of a trope where the noble lady is betrothed to the prince or something, then he becomes a butthole. Like, no, I don't want to marry you anyway. So he, as in Prince Kyle, decides to go marry Terenezza, nailed that as well, right in front of everybody and all the nobles. He annuls the engagement to Scarlet. So Scarlet's like, you know what? I've been training this whole time, dealing with your bullying and all your mess. I'm just gonna ask for one final thing. I'm gonna punch you in the face. But as she's surrounded by all the nobles, they want to stop her from punching him, and somehow she gets a nickname, the Mad Dog Princess, which they kind of just brushed over. It's like, okay, she's punching people in the face. She wants to punch the prince in the face. And then she proceeds to punch all the nobles out before she finally punches Prince Kyle all the way into a wall, which he doesn't die, but then, yeah, okay. And then during that time, we find out she has like a special blessing from the god of time where she can slow down time, stop time, speed up herself, and then, yeah, all kinds of broken stuff. Don't know I mentioned this before, but on the tier list of powers, okay, there's like teleportation, and then there's like time. It's kind of broken. And then we said before, shadow powers are broken too. Time powers, right up there. Okay, you got space, time, and then shadow. I feel like those are the top 3 broken powers in all of anime and comic books or whatever. Like, you just stop in time, freezing people. Usually it's only for one literal second, but for the person that's stopping time, that's like 10 whole seconds. If you're talking about fight times, most fights only last like 30 seconds. So that's a third of the fight there. That's kind of messed up, okay? Time powers, all right? Time teleportation, shadow powers. Messed up as far as Jim Jam's concerned, okay? So she has time blessing. She's like the only one that can do all the time shenanigans, which is BS. But anyway, she speeds herself up, beats up all the nobles, punches Kyle. We come to find out that Terenezza is actually, drumroll please, we asked the magical question here, is it isekai? Is it an isekai? Technically, yes. May I ask for one final thing is an isekai, which is interesting because only one person has been isekai. And we find out that is Terenezza. Terenezza. Nailed it again. Okay, we find out that Kyle has been bamboozled, hornswoggled, charmed, whatever by Terenezza because she has the rival goddess's charm powers, which is like cool. She can just charm people, get them, man or woman, which is non-gender specific, which is progress. But we find out that she's been controlling people and trying to overthrow Krona, the goddess Krona, whatever, the god Krona, and who gave power to Scarlet, and yeah, so trying to overthrow. There's a whole god messing with people thing, kind of like, man, is it okay to pick up girls in the dungeons? They just kind of like messing with each other and using humans to do it, but it's like, okay, whatever. And yeah, that whole entire thing's going on. But Terenezza's on board. She's been reincarnated, isekai'd, as we say. But it's interesting because she's not the main character. She's the main villain, main antagonist, but not the main character. So the main character has not. So it's technically not an isekai. It is in a fantasy world where there is magic and blessings and skills, like we all see. Everybody's got a special blessings/skill. And this person, Terenezza, she just kind of got coerced, but she's in it though. She's like part of the whole entire thing, a deal. Yeah, she's on board with it, so she didn't really get coerced too hard. Come to find out, she was ignored. She wasn't even really bullied in the real world. She just kind of got ignored, and then developed the whole entire thing because of that, which is weird. Okay, so then we have a Saint Diana who also got blessed by the god Cronoa, as well, just like Scarlet. And we find out that they actually are both saints trying to push back the evil of the world, so they have upload barriers. She has a barrier power. Scarlet has the time power, so they rewind stuff and put stuff up to block all the evil stuff that's going on. And then Terenezza is grabbing their things because she's trying to fulfill the goddess's blessing, which is yada yada yakety schmackety. All right, enough backstory. The good part about this whole entire anime, which I'll give my rating at the end, so stay tuned for that. And then wondering if it's the second season, stay tuned for that towards the end. But I'll say my initial rating is this show is amazing. I don't know if you can see it in the trailer behind me, but when Scarlet gets ready to punch somebody out, she has a look on her face. And then, which is awesome, and then she decides to call it dining. She makes a main dish of their faces by punching them, which is great. Instead of using like a sword or some kind of cutting weapon, she uses her fists, put on those black gloves, the studded gloves, which is a nice little touch, and proceeds to punch them in the face. So after all her bullying by Kyle after all the years, somehow she got OP. Not only does she have the blessing from Krona, but she can also put up a lot of damage on people, which is interesting. So there's a whole point in there where there's a slave trade of non-humans. So we got like reverse now of the other gacha. So humans are back on top, and as is the status quo, quid quo pro, the status quo that humans are on top and they make slaves of everybody else. So the whole slave trade that goes on in there, and in that process, she manages to befriend slash coerce into her duties or whatever a little a wolf boy named Nanaka. I can say names. Nanaka. And now she has a pet wolf boy. Demi-humans can turn into full-on animals in this one. That's how it happens. In this anime, you can switch back and forth. And which is great. So now she's got Nanaka in there helping her out, which is also cute because he turns into a little wolf puppy and he gets pet, all those different kind of things. And then Scarlet also has a brother, Leonardo, who we come to find out that he has a as Scarlet's older brother, he has the duty of trying to keep her from being the mad dog that she is, but unfortunately it doesn't help. But we come to learn that the first prince, named Julius, is actually infatuated with her and had been watching her the whole entire time. He just didn't do anything, which is kind of a jerk move. He just kind of watched her from afar like a piece of entertainment, which they keep coming back to over and over again in every episode. He's her little plaything, and then she really wants to punch him in the face, which is great because eventually it happens. We get a little payoff. Spoilers. And he protects her from Kyle because he's the first prince. And we actually find out he's pretty cool, even though his little brother's a big old jerk, which is kind of interesting because they're in the same family. But that's how it is in anime. One brother's a jerk, one brother isn't. So Julius is pretty cool. And he actually is working with Leonardo on like kingdom stuff. And then it's just funny because Julius is like spinning Scarlet up. And Leonardo's like, no, don't do that. And he has like ulcers and all kinds of stuff worrying. It's a nice little joke they got going on there, which is great. And then we learn that some of the knights have names, which is cool. And they're helping Julius work on kingdom stuff. And then we get our first like non-kingdom person in the form of Alfram. Nailed it. And we learned that he has like super high caliber defense powers, but then somehow Scarlet ends up managing to get past that. Kind of like Luke Cage in Netflix, where you can still get the brain stuff, even though he has like really strong skin. So gave him a concussion. Yeah, that whole entire thing was interesting. So yeah, just keep punching him, even though he has high defense, and then eventually he'll get a concussion. Good stuff. Alfred jumps in. He has a pet dragon named Rex. Somehow she tames Rex as well, and that's a whole entire thing. There's so much going on in this anime. It's just so good. But they keep going back to the fact that Scarlet likes to punch people in the face with a big old smile on her face, which is great. So she's just OPing people the whole entire time, even though she's like a little noble woman, just punching people out. And she has a mad dog princess name, which is just great. Okay, so now we've gotten to the end. Had to do a really quick recap and a review and rating of all entire things. But to let you know, are we waiting for season 2? Drum roll, please. Yes, we are. This is going to be an amazing season 2. We have to find out who else she punches, and then who else is trying to get onto her side. When Alfram came in there, we learned that his kingdom is not like a regular kingdom. They just don't have like a nepotism thing. You have to like win battles and fight your way to the top. So he helps Julius's kingdom, but then he's trying to pick up on Scarlet, which Julius doesn't like. So we'll see how that whole triad thing goes up. Now that they kiss, spoilers, they being Julius and Scarlet, will Alfram come in and still try to like take her away? It's such a good little trope. He's a little manly man wannabe, but he has some little vulnerabilities as well. Anyways, we'll give this here rating of 12 out of 11 dragons. There are dragons in here, and that's pretty cool. Whole entire dragon regiment, as is tradition when you have a fantasy themed anime. You must have dragons, magic, all those kind of things, and a nobility and a caste system. Slave trade. Okay. Anyways, that's all for now. This is the Is It Isekai podcast anime review. Spoiler warning, you've been spoiled and warned. And this is the co-host Jim Jam here. Catch us next time. Bye.